on, guys? It's Weather with Jonathan here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the potential for a possible severe weather outbreak in the central U.S., the potential for an atmospheric river to keep slamming the west coast, and the potential for a big warm-up and a big Arctic air blast. I'm going to be going over all this in your forecast. So starting off with what's happening around the U.S., you can see that we have that storm moving out of the Gulf Coast states. That definitely caused a little bit of wind down there in the Gulf Coast. We didn't have any storm reports come in, which is good, which means they weren't as strong as we anticipated. But it's also good because that means that nobody had to deal with bad weather. Now, we have a little bit of clouds moving in the west coast for places in western Oregon and northern California. And then we have that system moving off the east coast. That was not our nor'easter. So now let's take a look at our atmospheric river. You can see they're going to start getting that rain to really start happening mainly on Sunday. And this is going to continue throughout much of the day and actually could dump some significant rainfall totals to the mountains, upwards of 2 to 3 inches. So that's a lot of rain. As far as I know, we do not have a risk by the Storm Prediction Center of what's going to happen with this, like what the rainfall outlook is. But then you guys in the northern northwest are going to get slammed, and everyone on the west coast, you guys are going to get a lot of rain, especially in the mountains of California, along the coast of California, and definitely now it's starting to shift more to the northwest. So I want you guys to be aware of that. And yeah, so now let's take a deep dive into our severe weather. So you can see that cold blast comes in, but that's not our main focus here. We got to focus on our severe weather outbreak because this has actually been looking pretty concerning, and the Storm Prediction Center could actually add a risk. As you can see, just a giant warm bubble. The dew points used to be reaching all the way up to like right there, but now the warm sector is mainly centered over here. So that does mean we're probably going to see a little less severe weather over in this area now. So you guys still need to be prepared in case this shifts because it was showing a completely different thing today. But we still have a giant warm sector. And this is spreading across much of the central and southeastern U.S. And this is definitely going to lead to some severe weather. That'll move out pretty quickly, actually, and then we'll have something come after that, but I'll cover that at the end of the video. So now let's take a look at our cape because we have a lot of that. So you can see that cape starts rising up with those dew points. And look at all that energy. That's a lot of energy. Cape value is probably going to be 1,000 to 2,000 joules. This could definitely be a severe weather outbreak possible. I think if we get a risk, our first risk will probably be centered over here, and I think our second risk day will be centered over here if we get a risk day. But yeah, so that's what's happening there. Now let's pull this out a little further in time and see those will start calming down as we go into the southeast. And I just want to show you our wind shear because we could actually have a decent potential for tornadoes. And when I show you that, you're going to be like, there's a lot of wind shear. And yes, and I'll tell you exactly why. So you guys, so you see these little lines in the jet stream. Well, not the jet stream, but the way the wind is flowing. You can see they're flowing like this. And that is going to allow a lot of wind shear, especially because we have a tiny little thing spinning around in the Gulf Coast and just off the Gulf Coast. And that's going to be creating that wind shear to just be completely provided for much of the area. And if I pull this out, you guys are going to see it grow in much intensity, and that's where we could have the potential for a just very large severe weather outbreak, and they're probably definitely going to add a risk in the future. So now let's go back in time and look at our 700 millibar jet stream. You can see it's really going to be just blowing off. And if we have our biggest severe risk, we definitely have a severe risk across much of that area. But my main focus would be right in this area for a potential large severe weather outbreak. Now, we do not have anything being noticed from the Storm Prediction Center yet, but I think that will definitely change in the future. So I want to show you our trough, because this is going to swing negatively tilted before the storms even fire off. And you guys, I just want to tell you this. All of the jet stream winds are going to be perfectly aligning, and just even at the surface, they will be strong. I mean, look, this is 250 millibars. That's a lot. So, they're definitely gonna probably add a risk for this as we head out into the future. And I mean, you guys gotta probably pay attention to this. And I would definitely, if I lived inside of this circle, because not only is there just a bunch of wind shear being present for tornadoes, but we have a lot of vorticity. And vorticity is going to be around 30 to 35 knots in this area. So, yeah. And the wind will be pushing east. And the crazy part is that if you guys don't know what's going to be happening with this, you have winds pushing east. Like, you have winds pushing east. You guys know that on the 200 millibar jet stream. And then if we take a look at our 500 millibar jet stream, you can see they're going to be turning with height. So that means that they're going to be changing with height, which means that there's going to be a lot of vorticity. So we got to watch out for this, because at 200 millibar, it's like this. At 500 millibar, it's like this. And then look at what it is at 850 millibars. It is, wow, it is actually looking like this. So it's going to be turning with height. So you can see that it's going to be turning with height. So that's going to lead to a lot of vorticity. And even look at our 925 millibar. I mean, it's still turning with height. So you guys got to be aware of this, and no matter what, I'm going to cover this. I don't care what's going to happen, but if we get a severe risk, I'm covering this, and we already have marginal risk, because the Storm Prediction Center has put out a predictability too low for day 7, day 8, and I forgot to mention day 6. So we have to watch that in my in the weather forecast and in my videos. And I will mention it if we get a severe risk, because I'm really watching out for that severe potential. So, like I said, we had that severe risk ongoing today. It's going to start ramping up a little bit around 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then it's going to quickly dive off and die down and just completely thaw out. But you guys see on the back side of this, if you guys can see right in this area on the mountains, we might actually have a little bit of enhanced, what I would call lake effect snow, but there are no lakes, so it wouldn't necessarily be lake effect snow. It's just that warmer air rising off of the lakes and being just took off and just taking off into the southeast. So that does not mean anybody's going to see snow. It just means that you could see a little bit of snow in a lot higher of the elevations. Then this is just something I want to show you, our temperatures, because we're going to be seeing a major Arctic air blast. And look at that Arctic air, but you guys, I just want to say, don't focus on the West Coast, but also do at the same time because it's warming up a lot on the West Coast. And today, it is actually 63 degrees in some spots. So, yeah, so that's what that is. Now let's take a look at our temperature heading throughout April. So, this is April 2nd. It's going to be warming up dramatically across the U.S. and it is really going to be warming up. So, I hope you guys are excited for that. And yeah, so I just want to show you our snowfall totals too. This is just a little bit of an extra for you guys. This is what it could look like until April 2nd. So, yeah. So now I want to show you guys something like I promised you. This is what the radar could look like throughout much of April. I just want to show you guys in case they're so you guys can see the systems that we are talking about. And we could actually have another little shot at some snow in the northeast, maybe. But yeah, so that's the system that we're really watching. And we gotta watch out because it could definitely do something not good, which could definitely lead to a lot of severe weather and just bad weather in general. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming and watching it. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.